everybody. Welcome to this week's Matt Connarton Unleashed Television Edition. Good to have you all with us, and we have a great guest I'll introduce in just a moment. He'll be familiar to many of you, I'm sure. He's been on the show before, actually. But I do want to remind you before we get rolling, of course, if you want to participate in the show live, if you are watching us live, of course, you can give us a call. And if you're watching us live, the number is right there on your screen. And if there is no number on your screen, it's because you're not watching us live. But you might be watching one of the replays, and of course we do archive all the shows online as well. I want to remind you of that if you want to take a look at some back episodes. And of course, if you're on ipmnation.com/MCUTV, of course, all the information about how you can get in touch with us is right there, both the number to call live, or if you are too shy to call and you'd like to send a text, you can do that at 603-344-6491. And of course, on the website also, we have a live chat room. You can participate that way. And I'll be keeping an eye on that during the show as well. Don't forget Facebook, Matt Connarton Unleashed on Facebook. If you haven't liked the page already, please do so. And of course, Twitter, at IPM Nation is our Twitter handle. So I always want to say tweeter. I don't know why. It's our Twitter handle. And you can reach out to us that way too, live or anytime if you got something to say about the show. And I will now introduce our guest. This is his second time on the television edition of the show, Mr. Sean Ciccarello from the band Stillwell Angel. Sean, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
What's up, everybody?
I just realized we have this. I don't know how to describe the what's on our screens this week.
It's kind of like we're on fire.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like I should have dropped acid before coming in for the show.
Yeah, definitely,
and then
definitely.
I could enjoy this in all its glory.
Or maybe we're flowing through the human body, maybe.
Ooh. That'd be crazy if we just were and didn't know.
Or passing blood cells as we speak.
Wow. and life is just a dream that we have while we're floating around in blood.
That's a good one, and I like that.
That's remarkable. Almost just a little bit too reminds me of Metallica's cover for Load.
Oh yeah, it kind of does.
Load
actually.
album.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Or it could be like when you look at clouds and you find shapes in them.
Mm-hmm.
Could be that.
Like clouds that are on fire.
I literally didn't notice this until we went on the air. So that's why I'm so fascinated by it. I'm like an infant, just fascinated by shapes and things I see. So, Sean, where are you guys from? Stillwell Angel.
We're based out of Boston, Mass. We're technically from the Methuen area, but we base ourselves out of Boston. We're about 20 minutes outside the city, and a lot of our gigs and things. Kind of form throughout the Boston area, so it's easier for us to just say we're from Boston, and people are more aware of what Boston is, opposed to just being like some random town they may have never heard of.
Right. Yeah. No, it makes sense. And hey, not to start the show on a downer, but did you know Anderson Marr?
I did. Yeah. I did, actually, yeah. Our bass player knew her a little, better than I did. I met her a couple times, but several years ago, we did a show at Club 125, what we were talking about earlier. Yeah. And it was called the Punk Goth Metal Fest, and she was actually one of the artists to put that on. Oh, okay. So it kind of goes back, maybe 10, 12 years ago when I got the first chance to meet her. And then we were doing a radio interview a little while ago out of Boston, and she actually kind of called in and was like, hey, do you guys remember me? And we kind of chatted for a little bit. It was kind of cool. Yeah. So it's kind of a bummer, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know her particularly well. We were acquaintances, but, like you, I had done business with her a few times over the years, and, it's kind of anybody who's worked in the music scene, in this part of the country knows it's kind of like everybody kind of knows each other, at least tangentially. So when you lose somebody, especially in a tragic fire like what happened to her, it's like even if you didn't know that person that well personally, it kind of you're aware of the hole that it kind of leaves. Definitely. In the scene. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, she was a big influential promoter and friend to a lot of people in the music scene, and you can tell just by going to her social media, how much she was loved, and how many people knew her, and how many people were affected by it. So yeah, we definitely lost lost somebody big in the scene.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, we're gonna check out a video clip that you brought, and,
okay, cool.
and hear some tunes as the show progresses. But I figure we'll start with the video so people can kind of see what you guys are like live.
Okay.
And tell us a little bit about the clip that we're about to see.
Yeah, this is a clip that was filmed live at a place called Bernie's that used to be in Nashua, New Hampshire. It closed down a little while ago, but it was a great venue.
I didn't realize it closed.
Yeah, it was several places over the years, and there was big legal argument over the name and things, and it just kind of went sour. But great venue. They got a chance to get some nationals down there, and so we got some some video clip of us playing there, and we actually promoted this through Corrupt TV, which is a underground music company that does radio and TV for musicians worldwide.
Sure.
So we kind of did this as a little clip for them, and the song's called No Halo.
I need to check that out, Corrupt TV, because anybody who's promoting artists who are not on mainstream rock radio and whatnot. I mean, is some of the best stuff out there, not just in rock but in hip hop and whatnot.
Yeah, is underground
stuff that hasn't been through that major label meat grinder.
Exactly. Yeah.
And very cool. So I will check out Corrupt TV, and I guess we'll all get a little glimpse of it together because we'll go to this video. So this is a live performance of No Halo, is the name of the song?
No Halo, yep.
All right, so check this out. Live No Halo from Stillwell Angel here on Matt Connarton Unleashed. Have a look.
What's up, everybody? We're Stillwell Angel, and you're watching Corrupt TV.
And this is us playing No Halo.
Next song we're going to play for you guys, we like to call No Halo. But to start this song off, we're going to need your help. So I'm going to say no, and I want everybody in here to scream the word Halo as loud as they can. Are you guys with me? Are you with me? No Halo! No Halo! No Halo! Before it dies, it's like a passion over.
It's a live performance of "Stillwell Angel" from Bernie's, which is no longer around, unfortunately. But yeah, it sounds like we were kind of talking about that was planned. You can tell it was a packed room.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it was a really, really good show, and we try to promote really, really hard for a lot of our stuff now, because not that we did before, but people nowadays just seem to either want to go out or they don't want to go out, and it's you got to have some sort of small enticement to really kind of once I get people off their butt. But a lot of people are starting to become lazy on going to check out the scene. That's why people are saying the scene's kind of dying right now, is because there's just so much competition, so many bands trying to do the same thing. It's becoming oversaturated, and people are just going to see so and so this day, and they're like, oh, I went and saw so and so, I don't want to go out again, and so it's just really, really hard to get people to come out. But we're trying to do pre-sale tickets, or we're doing whatever we can to really try to get as many heads in the door, for not just our benefit, but for theirs as well.
Right.
Because, shows are only better when you have more people in the audience, because everybody feeds off each other.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think, and we've talked about this before, certainly, but I feel like it's almost kind of a double-edged sword with the internet. On the one hand, the internet makes it so much easier to promote to the world, really, what you're doing. But I think at the same time, too, people over time have become less inclined, as you said, to get out and check out live music, because it's almost like you have such a broad base of people that you can promote what you're doing to, but then those same people have a million other choices of things that if they want to just stay home and do whatever online, or watch something, or watch a web series, or anything really. I mean, it's how do you feel? Do you think it's a net positive, a net negative? Do you think it's neutral as far as the internet?
Yeah, I could see it kind of as I mean, the internet is obviously a huge play and everything. It's not like the old days where you have to go out and print out a couple hundred flyers and hand them out, or stick them on telephone poles or whatever. Which, to be honest with you, I think would actually help this business a little bit more if people start doing that again. But the main, I think, issue right now, I mean, online is obviously a huge thing, but I think the main thing right now is the clubs and the bars. They're relying on the bands to bring the heads and the following into the door. Now, it's understandable, but at the same time, if you're a well-known bar, you're a well-known club, and you don't have a clientele, and you're depending on bands to bring the clientele in for you, well, at that point, it's why even bother? If I'm promoting my product, trying to get people to like my product, you should be doing the same.
Right.
So, a lot of the great bars and venues that we used to play, have just all closed down, unfortunately. So this new mentality that some of these, clubs and bars and promoters are now trying to, come up with by, having these bands, do all the work.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, because then that's not getting the bands paid.
Right.
Because now if we don't bring the people in there to drink their alcohol or do whatever for them, they're not making the money, so they're not making the money to pay us.
Right.
So it's kind of a...
And when you're playing original music too, that's part of the challenge, because a lot of these places won't take a chance on original music. A lot of them just want to have cover bands.
Play the music people like and know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they'll pay anywhere, say, $600 to maybe $1,200 a night to play 3 hours of cover music, opposed to $50 for playing original. 45 minutes of original music.
Right.
Which, again, it's us bands these days. I mean, we're making most of our money on merchandise.
Sure. Yeah.
Very little on ticket sales, and very little on at the end of the night, depending on how many people come in the door.
Yeah.
So
for years I've said, although even now I'm having to modify this, I find, because when the major labels, it seems like another lifetime ago now, but when the major labels would start complaining about, Napster, of course, was the first big wave of that. Complaining about, they're suffering because everyone gets their music digitally now. Although some people do, even teenagers will still go buy a CD because they want the liner notes and everything.
Yeah.
But so much of that is shifted online. And for years I had said, well, your typical artist on a major label deal doesn't make much per unit anyway. The real money is in touring and merch.
Yep.
And
I mean, it's literally pennies.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Which a lot of people don't realize. You know, you can have a platinum selling album and be broke.
Yeah.
That happened to TLC. You know, they were triple platinum and broke. Filing for bankruptcy. But it's funny. So I always said, touring and merch, that's where the money is anyway. And I had said for years, you can't replicate the live experience without being there, truly being there, to really experience it. And you can't, it's not like you can download a t-shirt. But of course now they have 3D printers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, geez, I don't know. Can I even say that anymore? It's not like I used to think I was being clever. You can't download a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
you technically kind of can now, yeah.
So it just keeps changing, and like any industry, the music business, it's very much adapt or die. You've been doing this a long time, right? How long has Stillwell Angel been around?
Oh, geez. I mean, I formed and started Stillwell Angel in 1999, but it's one of those things that, throughout the years, we were a band, but I think because of what was going on at the business at the time and, trying to branch out of the small area that you come from, you almost kind of just consider more of a garage or a little local group. So, I mean, I feel personally that maybe not until these last maybe 3 years where I think the band actually has been finally considered a band,
right?
Been around for that long. To me, numbers are numbers. It's, it gives us opportunity, and it just gives us I'm trying to think of that word. When you've been doing something for a really long time, like seniority. It gives you like seniority, but again, you're still competing with people who are younger than you and who are even though they're still starting off and trying to start the scene themselves, there's just the lack of professionalism is horrible. And a lot of these bands these days, they feel like I can sign a contract, I can do this, I can do that, and they think it's an overnight thing, so and so, and I'm better than this band, I'm better than that band. You can be better than any group, but it's one of those things. If you don't have what the industry's looking for, if you can't pack a house, you can't get people to buy your stuff, and you can't sell your product, then you're just going to be a garage band. Right.
Well, it's like I have an axiom. You've probably heard me say it. Everybody wants to be a rock star, but only as long as it's easy. And so many people. It's funny too. It's very often people who should know better. I always joke about the mythical record company scout. Because some people think, okay, so they put a band together, they go and play the local bar every other weekend, and then eventually, just because they're so darn talented, it's destined to happen. The mythical record company scout comes in and says, you guys are great, I want to sign you to a 10-album deal, and I'm going to fly you out to Los Angeles on my private jet, and you can hang out in my mansion and have sex with groupies and be rich.
That stuff,
and it's just like that.
It's overnight,
And what's funny about that too is sometimes it really is the kids that are just starting out who still think that, even though it seems like such almost a bygone era, that whole idea that there's something very 1980s about the scenario that I just described. And yet for some reason it still perpetuates. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, I meet a lot of young bands who get it and who are professional and who understand that it doesn't work that way. But I also meet a lot of young bands who really do kind of have that idea. And I fear for them.
I do too. I think a lot of it just has to do with, the way it's portrayed in TV and in media. People watch these, Disney shows or, hear about these pop stars that, like, even if you look at somebody like Justin Bieber, for example, who, was found on YouTube by Usher, he wasn't doing anything. He was just a kid that put up a video on YouTube. People think it's that simple that so-and-so is going to see you. And, but I feel personally that, if you really put the work into it, and you work your butt off and you want it that bad, it can happen. Not saying it will, but it really can happen. But you really gotta, give up everything that you have, and do whatever you have to do to sacrifice and get you to that next level. I mean, if you look at people like Metallica, for example, they said that when they first started out, they were living in a 1-bedroom building, and they were eating bologna on hand, they called it. They would go buy a pound of bologna, and that was their dinner.
Right.
But I mean, it was just those type of sacrifices that I think society has changed over the years enough that it's probably not that bad. But still, there's still sacrifices that need to be made, and I just don't see a lot of bands and a lot of musicians making those sacrifices anymore. And I think that's their downfall.
Right. But in a way, that's good for someone like you, because that's less competition.
Exactly.
The herd kind of thins itself in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. With with anything that I do, any endeavor that I enter into, it's like, well, I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can at this. How many other people are doing this exact same thing? Oh, millions. How many of them are going to actually, literally work as hard as they can at this? Well, probably not that many.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's part of what fuels me to do the things that I do.
Exactly. Yeah, I say if you had a group of people, say you just call the number 22, they say maybe one out of those 22 people may get an opportunity to get signed, and that's the key word, may. I mean, there's no guarantee on that, but the industry right now is totally different as well. I mean, if you look at, a lot of the major labels, they're pretty much, I don't want to say they're out of money, but they spent so many millions of dollars on these groups to become one-hit wonders, not on purpose, but they were expecting these bands to do more, and that's all they get out of them. So they put all this money into them, and nothing came out of it, and I think, after doing it so many times, they finally got smart and was like, hey, we can't be wasting all this money anymore.
Right.
So they kind of cut that A&R guy out of the bracket, and now they're just kind of like expecting, they want to see high numbers, they want to, even if they heard of a band like us, for example, they might go and they'll look at our YouTube numbers, they'll look at our Facebook numbers, they'll look at our Twitter numbers, unless those numbers are in the hundreds and thousands. I mean, I'm not talking 10,000, 20,000. They want to see 500,000 this, 200,000 this. They want to see big numbers.
Right.
For them, they can see that as, okay, there's a possibility here of us making money.
Right.
Let's give a chance to these guys. Let's see what we can do. Let's cut a one-album deal, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But they're not going to throw, no matter how talented you are, to a band that's 5,000 friends, 5,000 likes on Facebook, 5,000 Twitter fans. They're not going to. To them, the numbers aren't big enough.
Right.
So there's no money there.
Right. Exactly. They want you to do your own A&R first, and then once they're convinced that you're worth taking on. And we exist in an era, and this is where the internet is helpful, where you can do all of that yourself, and if you do well at it, you kind of win either way, don't you?
Yep.
If that gets you signed to a big deal, great. But even if it doesn't, and you're doing it all on your own, and you're still kind of controlling your own destiny and reaping the rewards of that, and not giving up all the money that you sell on every CD that you sell, or every download from iTunes, because that's it's still your business essentially.
Exactly.
So you kind of, either way, you kind of win out. One way you might win more than the other, but it's still winning.
Well, I think that's the part that people don't understand. Especially these younger bands. Like we were saying, they expect that, they're going to go out and start playing clubs. That guy sitting in the back wearing a business suit is going to be an A&R or a, record label guy. And, they've got 200 likes on Facebook and, 10 Twitter followers, and that they're going to be rock stars overnight. And it's the dream, it's the thing. But, I mean, like I said, I've been doing this long enough that I know better. And, and I've always kept continuing with as much hard work as possible. And, and I know at some point, even if I don't make it to the very tip top where I want to, I know that I've done my best to get me where I need to be.
Right.
And I've experienced enough doing what I'm doing, and knowing that, I love it so much that, I wasn't able to give up, and I just kept going with my dream.
Yeah.
Were
you always like that? Did you always have that drive? Because, people will ask me, because I do a lot of stuff. I don't sleep much because I work so hard, and people will ask me, have you always been like that? And for me, the answer is no. I look back at my childhood, and I think I was actually kind of lazy. And actually, the first few years after high school, I didn't really do anything. I didn't go to college right away. I just kind of, I mean, I always had a job and supported myself. But for me, part of what drives me is I always feel like I'm making up for lost time. But at one point, you know, something kind of flipped where I was able to find my drive and motivation. But have you always been really driven?
I have. I mean, I've lost girlfriends, relationships. I mean, all kinds of things over the years. You know, just to, you know, take myself even, you know, further. I mean, I had a Spider-Man collection of comic books. I'm a huge comic book fan, and you know, it took me 25 years to make this collection of these, you know, 400 comic books that I was trying to collect. And you know, just recently in the last 3 or 4 years, you know, I said, you know, hey, I want to do this with music, but I need the money to do this. You know, I wanted to pass this down to my kids, but I felt, you know what, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I eventually can get it again. So I sold it for the band, you know, to put money where it needed to be. You know, I've always been, you know, that type of person. If, you know, if I got a goal and I say I want to do it, you know, I'm going to keep doing it until I do it. You know, a lot of people do. You know, they do praise and say things like, you know, man, I can't believe I would have given up by now. Can't believe you're still doing this and a lot. And it's when you love it that much, and you know, I don't want to say you become obsessed with it, but you're just so goal driven, and you feel that this is what you were meant to do. You know, that you got to keep continuing on that path.
Absolutely. And it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and you
really
got to just keep running if you want to get there.
Well,
let's play another track.
Awesome.
I want to play this is just audio, but I want to my favorite song of Still Well Angel is Devour and Carry On.
Oh, cool.
I really love that. So I'd like to play that. So if Brendan can cue that up for us. And this is this from for folks watching, is this from an album, or is this
Yes, the full album is going to be coming out. Actually, going to be, I think we're in the studio next week. Should be our final studio get together. Doing just a couple small touch-ups on some mixing and a little bit on some vocal areas, and then at that point we're going to send it out to get mixed and then get it fully mastered, and then we'll have the album out. It's going to be called The Chaos. We haven't set an exact date per se yet, but it's definitely going to be out this summer, and this will be one of the tracks on there.
Okay, fantastic. I like this a lot. This is really good stuff. It's heavy, but it's catchy too, which is what I like. It's got a good hook. All right, so this is Devour and Carry On from Still Well Angel. Take a listen.
Her hands up and down my back, she feels so good in time my lips react. Fooling around with the pictures in my head, she's riding. Drive her crazy, I know she's loving it. We go up, down, and we go up, down, and we go up, down, and carry on, we go up. Addiction bound, she's on my mind. My mind's made up, I love this trend. So I call her up, I call her friend. She's soft, sweet, and not high. The curves of her body. Her mouth is firm, her tongue is wet as we get it on the back of my Corvette. Wanting me, fooling around with the pictures in my head. Riding me, drive her crazy, you know she's loving it. Keep it tonight, come on. Give it tonight, give it tonight, come on. Give it tonight, give it tonight, come on. Give it tonight, give it tonight. We go up, down, up, down. We go up, down, up, down. We go up, down, up, down. Jeffrey Dog, we go up. Down, 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 down. We go up. Down, 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 down. Jeffrey Dog, on me. Jeffrey Dog, riding me. Jeffrey Dog, down.
Hey, welcome back, and that was, of course, Devour and Carry On from Stillwell Angel. That's my favorite Stillwell Angel track, and of course we have with us Sean Ciccarello from the band Stillwell Angel joining us this week. So I got to ask you about America's Got Talent.
Yes.
You guys auditioned for that, or how? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we got an opportunity to go audition for America's Got Talent. We went all the way out to New York, and we had a blast out there, and had an opportunity to audition for the show, and were very well liked by the judges. It was all done by the producers of the show and not the actual judges, who are I think it's Howie Mandel, Sharon Osbourne, Scary Spice, and Mariah Carey's husband there. Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon, yeah.
So this was something we were doing just for the producers, and pretty much. How it works is, you go out there and you get 90 seconds to perform for these producers, and you're doing it in a room with between 10 and 20 other artists. They have you all line up at a door, and you all are in the same room, a small little room with the producer at the desk, and they have you step up to a line, and then after you perform your 90 seconds, you step back to the line, then the next performer goes up.
Yeah.
And it's kind of done that until everybody's done. And then after you're all done, it was, all right, if we're interested in what you did, we'll let you know, and you go on to the next section. So we got a call back to go to Providence, Rhode Island for another audition.
Yeah.
So we went for the other audition, and, again, I had a blast. And, at that point is, okay, we'll let you know if you make it to the next section, which is Vegas, which is once you go to Vegas, then you perform your talent for the actual judges.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we got message or notice sometime early last month, that said we weren't chosen for the next section.
Sure.
But the experience was absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah, it must have been.
Yeah. It was a huge blast to our social media. We met a lot of great people. We got to have a great night in New York, down at Times Square.
Yeah.
For some great bonding band time.
Sure.
And whatnot. But we got to just do something different.
I'm fascinated by the part of the process where you get to play for 90 seconds. Mm-hmm. What song did you play?
We played a song called No Friend of Mine. Well, the first audition we did Devour and Carry On.
Okay,
yeah.
That's what I
figured. Then
we
brought up, and we went to our second part of it, and we did another song.
So how do you figure out which 90 seconds? I mean, do you say, okay, well, obviously we got to get the chorus in there? And
yeah, it's hard. It really is, because, it's not like we could go down there as a full band to perform full electric gear.
Right.
At this point, it's either you're doing it via video or you're doing it via acoustic.
Okay.
When we said to the guys, we kind of set up to do, and we also submitted video via online as well, so we could kind of hit all the areas of this audition aspect.
Yeah.
So, it was tough because, especially trying to do it acoustic, it's still catchy, it's still fun,
sure.
but that it lacks that stage performance. It lacks that, just the energy that is brought when you got an electric guitar in your hand. And you're performing it. So I think that was kind of our downfall, was not being able to do what we do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it just sounds like it would be difficult. Like it's one thing for, like if you say to a stand-up comedian, okay, we can give you 90 seconds. All right, well, that's easy. I'll pick my best jokes and whatnot. And, But, man.
Or even a solo singer. Somebody
sure.
just wants to go up and do 90 seconds of, there was, some of the people that were auditioning, they were singing everything from Shaggy to what's her face, Carrie Underwood. You know? I mean, it's we even heard two girls that sang the Dixie Chicks.
Oh, no kidding.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's, I think what helped us a lot to kind of push through and get through twice was our image, our attitude, and just our love for music really seemed to kind of, I think, put us in a different bracket than everybody else. I mean, when we came out of the audition and we were in a room with, I don't know, probably a couple thousand people. They had the big America's Got Talent banner in the background, and people were pulling us aside, wanting to post pictures with us. We were posting pictures with people because they were like, oh, these guys are serious. They look like legit. So let's get some pictures with these guys.
Right,
so that was pretty cool.
Well, plus if you did make it, to have a picture, if you end up famous, and then they've got a picture of you when you did America's Got Talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
And you had a Grammy nomination, right?
Or
you were submitted.
However,
I'm not sure how that whole process works.
Yeah, explain how that goes. Our song "Devour and Carry On," which is what you guys just heard, was picked up by a member of the Grammy Commission who was able to submit the song to the Grammy Committee.
Okay.
Which is usually, I don't know how many people. It could be a group of 13 people for all I know, 20 people, 50 people, and it seems to work out that they all kind of pass around. There's 200 artists picked, I think, per category, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
For them to listen to, and then they eventually get weaned down to, top 100, top 50, top 20, top 10, and then top 5, which gets shipped out to for the actual nomination. Those 5 are the nominees that you see on TV, et cetera, et cetera. So, so it was pretty cool, just to get that call and the guy say, hey, we like your song so much, we want to submit it to get an opportunity to get a Grammy nomination. I mean, that itself is, something I can't count anybody that I know personally that have had that opportunity. And, to know that a song I wrote was able to be liked enough to get that far was pretty amazing.
Right. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I know you've been able to build some other relationships too in the industry. You guys was it a booking agency that you were working with, or a management company?
Yeah, a management company. Yeah, based out of New York. Yeah, Sweet Sounds Music. Yeah, really nice, great people. We've been working with them for about a year and a half now, and they have a VP that's based out of California, so they kind of try to hit the 2 big markets, California and New York.
Yeah.
They got some various artists underneath their belt that they help promote, and they're actually setting up a tour for us right now for August. It's going to be like a 2-week tour that we're going to go on. It's going to be 9 to 10 cities, and it's just going to be Connecticut, Ohio, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina. I mean,
excellent.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of these places we're gonna hit, and so we're really looking forward to something like that too.
Will this be the biggest tour that you've done in terms of geography? Getting out of
no, we've done a couple.
Yeah,
we've done a couple. We did one last year too, which was fun, and again, it's just a matter of people think it's just as easy as packing up and hitting the road.
Right.
And, especially with gas prices these days, unless you got the money physically funding out of your pocket, you're trying to set up to, at least cover road costs.
Yeah.
When you get out there and you do these shows, but even trying to get just a couple $100s from any venue these days it's
very tough.
It's very tough, because again, they want to make sure that, are you going to bring heads in my door? And it's like, well, we're not from your area, so all right. So at that point, they got to try to find 2 or 3 locals in the area that will fill their place for us, so we can come down, and then we'll get a percentage of.
What was the biggest surprise for you the first time that you did do a tour, or
I think
play somewhere far away?
I think it was just the reality of just being on the road, just not being home. You don't have to go to work, you don't have to do all this stuff, and you're getting an opportunity to experience elsewhere besides your small circled area that you've been performing in for so many years.
Sure.
But again, it's tough because everything costs money, and I mean, if I had an entrepreneur or somebody that wanted to fund the band and give us $50,000 or $30,000, we could do a lot you can do with that type of money, even though it's small money in the industry. there's a lot that can be done between merchandising, touring,
sure,
and just the promotional stuff. I mean, even with Facebook, they say they have that little boost post. I don't know if you ever see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You put up a post that's like, oh, you've reached a couple thousand people. Use this post boost buttoning, you can reach 10,000 people.
Right.
So, again, it costs money.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Just, if you had that little bit extra cash lying around and you had the priorities of figuring out where you'd be making the best opportunity promoting and putting your money in, that's where it's going to lie.
Do you in your band, are you the guy that really kind of handles all that, the business and promotional aspect?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, we all try to take part in something that has to do with the brand of the band. So we kind of split things up,
Yeah.
like I handle, the booking with the management company, and I'm kind of like the to-go person when it comes to doing stuff, I don't want to say permission to do stuff for the band, but everybody always comes to me first about whatever needs to be done before it has to be done.
Somebody's got to be in charge.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of a democracy in a band always sounds nice, but it doesn't quite work.
Most labels and promoters, they only want to deal with one person anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then like our bass player handles all the radio stuff. I said I gave them all radio stations. I said, all right, man, you handle anything having to do with radio and radio promotion and sending our music out to wherever. Then our drummer takes care of all the video aspect of things, the putting videos together, getting the visual aspect of things taken care of.
Sure.
And then our guitar player takes care of the inner working of the road crew, the people who are going to help us out promoting stuff, getting people to go to concerts to promote the band. Whether it's so and so's in town. We come up with a bunch of flyers, and a couple of those guys will go out to the show and just hand out flyers.
Yeah.
With our website on it, just to kind of get the name a buzz.
Right.
So everybody's kind of got their own little job.
Oh yeah. We got time to get at least one more track, and I want to make sure we get at least one more in.
Okay.
So we got. I'll let you pick. We got a couple loaded up. There's Circum or there's Corner of Chaos.
Let's do Corner of Chaos.
All right. So if Brendan can get that ready, we'll. And where can people get all of your the music that we're playing today? Where is it available?
You can get all of our music, pretty much search for Stillwell Angel online.
Yeah.
StillwellAngelMusic.com is our main site, Facebook. We do have a distribution deal with Republic One, so all of our music is available worldwide via iTunes and things.
Excellent. Good.
The stuff that you're hearing now has now been taken off due to dealing with some of the ex-members that we had dealt with, but all of our new stuff's going to be up this summer with a new deal that's been put out, so people can catch all that stuff sometime this summer. We'll have to announce it soon. But
fantastic. All right, sounds good. Well, everybody take a listen to this. This is A Corner of Chaos from Stillwell Angel here on Matt Connarton Unleashed. Have a listen.
I've been to a place that's into the unknown, a proof of life I'm all alone. I tend to my gaze through my own reflection, deliver my fate with no direction.
was Corner of Chaos from Stillwell Angel, and my guest this week is Sean Ciccarello from the band Stillwell Angel. And Sean, we were kind of talking while that was playing about May 13th. There's a big announcement coming. I don't know how much you can say, but
yeah, we're going to be doing a really big concert on the 4th of July that we're really looking forward to. We can't announce too much of the details, but sometime next week they're going to give us permission to announce the headliners of the show. It's going to give us a good opportunity to get on board with some pretty well-known national acts. And this particular show itself is going to be a big outdoor festival taking place up in New Hampshire. It's going to consist of 3 stages, about 150 artists, comedians, DJs, carnival. I mean, it's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah.
And we're really looking forward to making the announcement and letting people know that we're serious and let's do this.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. So in terms of the summer, obviously you've got that coming up, but when is the you said August for the big tour?
Yeah, August 15th I think is the day we're going to be taking off, and it's going to go to the end of the month.
And between that, before the tour in August, you're going to be doing a lot of dates in the Northeast?
We got we're pretty much all set now all the way up through to the end of July. I mean, we've got a bunch of scattered shows. We have a weekend coming up in Pennsylvania. We have a weekend coming up in Maine. We're trying to make the best of where we're going. It's, especially if you're going to drive, 8 hours to Pennsylvania. If you're going to get two shows, do 2 shows. Don't go up there just for one.
Right.
I mean, at that point, it's the gas itself. So we're just trying to step outside our comfort zone and try to hit other places that we know right now the scene is doing pretty well, or just to an area where we think our music will do well.
Yeah.
So we just we got a show coming up May 24th. We're going to be in Lowell at a place called Gemstones.
Oh, I like that room a lot. I've played there.
It's a nice place. And
Absolutely.
Shore Music Hall, we're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
June 14th. So we've
Very
got
good.
a lot of big things coming up. All those gigs, actually, right now, all of our gigs up to May are posted on our site. But starting sometime next week, the rest of June, July will be up there, so people can see where we're playing. And
Okay.
we're kind of trying to do them in increments. We don't want to give everybody everything at once. We like to,
Right.
give a little 3 months and then another 3 months and then.
That's the smart way to do it. Yeah. You don't want to overwhelm people with information, and you also want to keep them interested.
Exactly.
So give them a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Where's the name come from, by the way? Stillwell Angel.
It's actually from a movie. Do you ever see the movie League of Their Own?
I've never seen it.
Never?
I almost the summer that came out, I almost felt like I had seen it because there was so much. Every time I turned on Entertainment Tonight, they were talking about it. But,
That movie, yeah.
But I've never actually seen it.
Yeah, there's it's a movie about how when the men went off to war, the baseball leagues were wondering what they were going to do while the men were fighting.
Yeah.
What they were going to do about sports and baseball. So the women, they came up with a deal for the women to play baseball for a couple seasons. So they started these women teams, and they based this movie off that situation. It was called A League of Their Own, and it stars Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell and Gina Davis. And they one of the women that's on the team, she has a little son, and she calls him Stillwell. And there are several points in the movie where he's just kind of like this really boisterous kid that just loves to run around and make chaos, as we like to say. And she eventually calls him her Stillwell Angel.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I got the name.
Yeah.
From.
That's where that There's No Crying in Baseball. That comes from that, right?
Yes.
That movie. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I hear people say that all the
Yeah.
time. Like I said, I feel like I've seen it even though I haven't.
Yeah. There's a scene in the movie where Tom Hanks throws the glove at at this little kid's face and knocks him over.
Yeah.
That's Stillwell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And the current lineup. How long has the current lineup been together? Because obviously, the band's been around for a while, so you've kind of there's people who've come and gone.
Yeah. Let's see. A little, pretty close to a year now.
Okay.
That these guys.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things where we started off as a trio, and I kind of wanted to get more into the singing aspect of things. So, to do that, I needed to let loose on what I was doing with the guitar. So I, kind of had to get a guitar player in there, and
yeah,
it's tough because it's all about finding the dedication, and when especially with somebody like me, I've got such a a strong drive for things, and to find somebody who's very similar that wants to do all that, it's difficult, and we just had people over the years that claim they want to do that, but when it comes down straight to it, it's tough because they have other priorities or whatever, and unfortunately everybody's replaceable.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I've got a dream, and just because you don't want to do it doesn't mean I don't. So
right.
You gotta find somebody to take it over. And
did you ever have over the years? Did you ever have a moment where you thought, maybe I want to not do this anymore, or maybe in the wake of somebody leaving, where you just kind of said, it's too hard, or maybe start a new band or something?
It's tough every time. I mean, any time that we've lost somebody or changed a member, it definitely has crossed my mind.
Yeah.
In some small way.
Yeah.
But it doesn't weigh enough.
Right.
Supposed to what I really want to do, and
yeah.
And it's not so much of I can find somebody better, supposed to, I can find somebody else that can do what needs to be done, so this band can get to that step that needs to be taken. I believe so much into this project and this brand that that I created, and I think it has huge possibility, and we just need those couple people that are willing to feel the same way and just jump on board and go with it.
Yeah. I didn't realize that you had started out as a trio.
Yeah.
So in the early days of the band, so it was you singing and playing guitar?
Yeah, I sang and played guitar, and then my brother played drums, and then we had a bass player.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of how we started off, and we were just a basic trio, and we played. Our music was a little lighter back then too. It was a little more early 90s, mid 90s, that Bush, Creed style. And then, over the years, I've always been a big fan of Metallica and Pantera and some of those heavy bands. So I was trying to bring a little bit more of that influence into the music, and so it kind of turned that hard rock into that little bit of a metal edge that we have.
Yeah. So when I first met you back at the bomb shelter,
oh my God,
all those years ago, so you must not have been a 4-piece for that long at that point, because that would have been like what, 2005? Maybe
we were a 4-piece.
Okay,
yeah, we were definitely a 4-piece, and we had it was the original trio. We just had a guitar player who was playing. A friend of mine, he was from Brazil.
Yeah.
And he was living up here, and he was a really good friend, and he took over and played guitar with us for a while, and he was an amazing guitar player.
Yeah.
Yeah, good guy. Bomb shelter, man, wow.
Yeah, there's some memories for people watching in the local area who might remember. There was,
Did you ever go to Sharky's?
Oh, yeah, I remember Sharky's.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Yep. A lot of places have come and gone.
I know.
A lot of bands have come and gone, but you guys are doing great, and happy to see it. You deserve it.
Oh,
and
thank you.
I'm glad you were able to join us here today. And,
awesome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we'll start to wrap up. I do want to remind everybody, of course, that if you go to ipmnation.com/MCUTV, of course, you can find all the times for, the show does replay several times, and then we archive them all on the site, so you'll be able to download it on demand whenever you would like, keep it forever and ever, and all that good stuff. And, of course, don't forget about the radio edition of Matt Connarton Unleashed, which is every Thursday night. Streaming live on the Dr. Kevin Radio Network Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, you can find all the information for that, too, on ipmnation.com as well. And, Sean, before we go, what's the website one more time for your band?
It's stillwellangelmusic.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. We asked if you like what you hear, hit that like button. And
absolutely.
We'll hope to see you at a future show.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, check these guys out. They're really good. Really, really good. A lot of energy, which is important. Not everybody can pull it. Some bands have great songs, but don't quite have that live energy.
It's all about putting on a show. People don't get that sometimes. They think that you can just go up there and do your thing, and yeah, you can, but you're not going to capture an audience that way.
Exactly. Well, thank you again, Sean.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for watching and listening this week. And of course, if you're watching live on Wednesday, you know the drill. I'll be back at 4 o'clock with Norm and at 6 o'clock with Gary. And that's it for now. Talk at y'all later. Bye-bye.